Hey, great day to you all. I hope that you all have woken up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And I hope that you all have set that high vibe, telling yourself how amazing you are, that you're strong, you're smart, you're capable, you're beautiful, you're going to accomplish anything that you have the intentions of doing today with ease. Tell yourself that money flows to you like water over rocks, swift, freely flowing. Tell yourself that you are powered by the flow of the universe. So therefore you have all the energy to get everything and anything done. Guys, authenticity is a force to be reckoned with. When you are authentically you and you are led by your heart, you're unstoppable. There are no limits, there are no restrictions. And you can make absolutely anything happen. But when you're smothering your authentic self with what everybody else believed about you, well, then you can't be authentically you. And being authentically me without a mask, has helped many, 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 many increase their personal game. Why do I say that? You know why? Because I see it. I see the difference. I see the difference in the content, in the glow, in the presentation of things, I love it. I love it. So everybody brings something special. Now, if you're not being authentically you and true to who you are, well, then you're not bringing your powerful magic because you're masking it. And yes, everybody has something about them that they bring to table, no matter who they are. But if you're not bringing your authentic self to any situation, well, then guess what? You're going to produce the results of that. Yeah. We're born in a state of unconditional love where there's no limits. We don't know separation. We don't know, we just know to rely on our parents. Not even our parents. We know to rely on our mother. And we have reflexes. Just like, you rub a baby's cheek and they'll open their mouth to suckle. Or, if you hit a nerve at your knee will jerk or your leg will jerk, right? So I just hope you realize that everybody that ever told you anything, whether it was your family, your friends, your teachers, anybody in society, has constructed what you believe about yourself to be real. You got to remove and stop carrying what is not yours to carry. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that you have to construct your own belief systems about who you are and what you want in this world. On a scale from literally telling yourself that nothing really matters from what you were installed with, from your parents, your grandparents, family interactions, it does not matter. Doesn't matter what you've had to live. Today you can choose to be whoever you want to be in this world. So if you haven't been showing up for yourself properly, authentically you, well, you got to rip off the mask. And what are the masks that I talk about? Well, all the belief systems that have been brainwashed into you. And they're very limiting. They're restrictive. What do I mean? Well, I'll use me as a personal example. All my life I was told, you're too much. Go find something to do. Shh, lower your voice. Be quiet. Always being forced to play smaller than my energetic force. Well, I had to get past that, eh? And that's why I step out into this world authentically me. It doesn't matter. And it really, others' belief systems of who I am do not govern my life. What I believe to be true about me governs my life. And I know that I've tapped into my highest potential as a human being after healing the way that I have. Well, you can't be lying to yourself about who you are if you want to make that magic happen. I know who I am. But I also know what everybody constructed me to be in this world. And I'm the farthest thing from that. So that's why I even told you guys yesterday, listen, choose to embody a state of love no matter what is happening in your life. It doesn't matter. You can do that. It's a choice. There's a neutrality and a neutral zone that you have to stay in. When I went through the universal laws yesterday, it's very relative to uniquely you. Well, if you're not walking around authentic to who you are and your heart's desires, well, that kind of fucks you up, doesn't it? Well, that shit led me to death, time and time and time again. And I know what it is to get sick just off of mere negativity. Well, I'll never do that to myself again. Why would I? I wake up every day as a brand new creation. See, when that sun rises, I go to the sun. And I absorb its rays. And I thank it for shining. And I pray that it rejuvenates every one of my cells so that I can do its work here on the planet. I know who I am. And you know, there's a lot of talk about God's chosen ones. Well, yeah. You know who the chosen really are? Because I know I'm a chosen one. Christ, I had to die to stay alive. I had my life review. I had to meet the Maker. Why do you think I asked for 10 more years to jump back into my body to correct it? Well, I've done more than correct it. Now I'm changing the world with the knowledge that I know. Simple. That's what it's called, tapping into your highest potential of your being. Well, I have. And what's the highest potential of your being is the universal love that makes it all happen. And you have that force driving your every move. So, I would rather that force driving me to be authentically me than be running on belief systems that aren't mine to have. Simple. That's why I'm self-mastered. That's why there's nothing outside of me that can affect me. Everything in my reality will enhance it, or it won't be there. The love that fuels me on a daily basis, that runs all of my organs, well, you have it too. That's what runs our organs. It's the force of life. Every time you breathe, it's love making you breathe. Well, how could you not be a loving person if that's what fuels you for life? Well, I am that loving person, authentically me. Self-mastered and pushed past any kind of limitation I've ever been faced with. So, that's who I am. I know who I show up to be in this world, not only for me, but for any interaction that I may ever have. That's all people are going to get from me, is love. And you know what? Half the time, I don't tell people what they want to hear. That's not what I'm meant to do. I am meant to tell people the truth. Authentically, realistically, lovingly. I know that. I'm a spiritual way shower. That job is a huge job on the planet. I'm here with a double mission. I understand that. To be able to live the life that I have and still be okay, better than okay, totally healed and still be a loving person, but then still have the capacity to reach back down into the darkness and pull as many souls back into the light as humanly possible, that's a huge job. Well, I'm proud to have it. Simple. And that's my primary purpose on this earth, is to infuse as much love as humanly possible back into the lives of those who need it the most. I understand that. I own that mission proudly. Staying true to that mission and authentically me gives me life. So it's not something that I want to do. It's something that I must do to have more life, as I committed to. It's a different ballgame. And there's no person, place, or thing that can ever disrupt that within me ever again. I have to stay authentic to who I truly am on this planet, primarily. No matter what people believe of me, expect of me, deny me of, judge me for, ridicule me for, mock, no matter what comes my way, it cannot affect me when I am in this state, no matter what it is. So I encourage everybody to get into that state as well. That you love yourself so much that you heal your past. You rid yourself of belief systems that are not yours to carry. Because that's what cripples us. And that's what forces you to wear a mask, is the confusion of who you are. When you can stand up as who you are, there's no more mask wearing for anything or anybody. And yes, it disrupts feathers because everybody wants to be cushioned with illusion, just the way that we all have been all of our lives. I don't comfort chaos. I consciously create. And every person is an enhancement of my experience. People are meant to enhance it. Factually. So, but you're going to get from people as much as you show up to be. Don't expect people to be authentic with you if you are not presenting yourself as an authentic. This is me. You're going to get the same thing that you project to people. So, that's why I like to call myself the rude awakener. Because I disrupt people's belief patterns. But that's what I'm meant to do. I'm not supposed to be anything or anybody but who I am. You know? Of course I want things in my life. But I am okay either way. But I put my faith and my trust with the Most High. Why? Because I would not be breathing today without having dwindled for more time, primarily. I had to ask for more time. Hey, put me back in my body and I will make it happen. Well, that body was totally septic shock, laying in intensive care with total organ failure. And I was told, really? You really want to do this? Because you're jumping back into a body that is inhabitable. And I said, yeah, I'll make it happen. And I did. And I have. Couldn't do that lying to myself. Couldn't do that lying to others. I couldn't do that based on what everybody else made me believe about myself and how everybody else treated me and how my life was. Come on. And this is why I encourage you guys all to rip off those masks, rip out the belief systems that aren't yours to have, and you know something, think about it. Look at the people who programmed you to be how you are today. And if you, for any reason, look at these people and you don't feel settled in your heart, like, okay, they're not the best person they could have been, well, then that also you're carrying too. So if you're watching them as evidence of their programming, well, understand they're the ones that programmed you too. That was the biggest turning point for myself. Is when I realized what and who I had been programmed by. Hey, you got to live the destructive pattern over and over and over again until you can break the cycle. Well, not only have I broken the cycle for me, but I broke the cycle ancestral, generational, and my kids are freed of it, and so are my grandchildren. That's just not leaking down. And there's way too much of that that's staying in silence. The abuse that we're born into in the households, the hushing of it, the silence. We come from generations that everybody said, hey, don't air out your dirty laundry. Keep that shit in the house. Well, factually speaking, you know what? I was born into all of that. My father was a very hard worker. Yes, he was. But he was a very heavy drinker too. And a very aggressive, abusive man. Why? Because of the trauma he suffered in his life. By the hands of his father. So it leaks through the generations and people don't talk about it. Well, it has to be corrected. Whether it's talked about or not. Why did my father struggle with the booze? Well, because he struggled with his self-identity. He struggled with his trauma. He struggled with his pain. He struggled with drug addiction because he couldn't figure himself out. He couldn't figure out how to rid himself of the pain. I don't want that for anybody. Okay? This is why I do what I do. I have walked trauma. I have walked suffering. I have walked the alcoholism, the drug abuse, the effects of it all, the patterns and cycles created from it. But I've corrected it. You see? And that's what I encourage everybody else to do as well. Correct the patterns that have been running on repeat. Generationally, that our belief systems are compromised of. They're comprised of, which compromises our authenticity. It does, because if you're not walking around being who you genuinely want to be, well, then you're walking around as somebody that everybody else constructed you to be. That's not being authentic to you and your heart's desires if you're walking around constructed as somebody that everybody else made you to be. You got to stay true to yourself all the time. And you're unique on the planet. And what you bring matters. So if you're not being authentic to you, well, then you're not bringing the you that matters. It's as simple as that. I encourage you to push past through everything today. No matter what you may believe is a limitation, understand that you were programmed to think that too. Our soul knows no limits. The power of love that fuels us universally for our every moment of this experience makes everything happen. Love makes you breathe. Love makes you perceive in your senses and processes all that data and runs automatically. It's love that has filled your tank for your ride today in your body. I encourage you all to get in alignment with it and work with it, not against it. Love yourself so much that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's happening outside of you. That's your truest power in this world, is to own the love that's fueling you, which is your highest potential. Turn it on high and project that love onto everybody and everything. Every waking moment of the day. And then you really see the magic happen. Like I'm watching. And you know what? I'll mention that too. Why do I say then you'll see the magic happen? Because I'm seeing it happen. I'm watching it happen right in front of my eyes. I am realizing now, no matter how I believed even myself to be coming out here and trying to educate the world, I have seen factually now the evidence of my influence amongst really amazing people. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud and unapologetically, authentically me. And I would love for you all to be the same and speak truth and tell your story. And tell people how you got over things. It shifts brain patterns. But own yourself authentically, you, no matter what's going on in the world. Okay? And love yourself and love everybody and just make the magic happen because you can. Guys, I'm on a 2 o'clock episode of Love It or Shove It today. So I want you guys all to come out and join us. Have some fun. We are talking about sexual intimacy, I think. Talking sex today. So, hey, let's make the magic happen. Guys, I love you all. Have a great day. Set that high vibe. Don't let nothing stop you. And I've said it 1,000,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000,000 times more. If you guys need some one-on-one, book the time with me. We'll get on Zoom or Google Meet, and we will make it happen. Okay? Let's get you tapped into your highest potential of your being. That's when the true magic happens. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.